Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Tuesday. Happy second recording. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Tuesday morning, guys. It's been a long morning already. So guys, I'm back with this recording. I told you guys in the last recording, if you have not seen it, that I started the recording making the recording in regards to these topics that I'm speaking about now. In the middle of that recording, almost 9 minutes in, I got a very, very firm, strong conviction and vision to speak on that story, the story that I may have potentially saved a life. And so I chopped the recording up because I felt like the Holy Spirit wanted me to separate it. And that story had its own recording. So anyway, I'm back now to speak about the first 8 minutes of the recording that I chopped off. And that is in regards to signs that God is about to increase you, how God answers prayers, and how he is connecting supernatural, God ordained relationships right now. So let's start with signs that God is about to increase us. Now, there's a number of signs, but I'm just going to go with the downloads I received. For one, there is a very intense desire that there is more. Even if you can't articulate it in words, because many times it's just a feeling. Your spirit feels very ignited. Your spirit feels very exciting, like something's coming. Now, sometimes you can describe what that excitement is because maybe God have shown you, especially the higher you go, he'll show you. The closer you get to like major destiny moments, he shows you because now you can handle it. Where if he have shown you years ago, right, you would have spoke on it, you would not have had the training on how to sustain it, things like that. So he now can show it to you. But even if you can't see it, there's just this excitement in your spirit, which is the opposite of what many chosen people have experienced maybe the last year or so, dealing with fierce attacks, etc. Next, your current level is drying up, honey. Honey, ain't nothing happening. Like, there's no longer a desire to be there. Mind you, this is something that once fulfilled you. You loved it at some point, truly. Now, this can look like a marriage. Just get in where you fit in. Get in where you fit in. I'm just the messenger. This can look like a marriage, a partnership, a job, a career, a ministry, a business, this, that, and third. The point is, at some point, and it truly was the will of God. Well, for some, it truly was the will of God. But the season is just up for it. See, sometimes we linger longer in seasons because we're comfortable, and it's a fear of the unknown. With God, you have to be bold. You have to have faith. You have to step out on what you believe he's saying. And a lot of people are stuck and stagnant in certain seasons and they can't rise because they're comfortable. But one thing that you will discover that he's requiring, even though you're no longer fulfilled, he is still requiring excellence, meaning you must still do your job, whatever that job is, and do it well. He's also requiring you to tie up loose ends to the point of my Bible scripture. People, please help your girl out. Leave no stones unturned. Is that correct? Where it's almost like what I feel spiritually is like a passing of the torches. So for the newcomers, it is almost like, see, the newcomers are being increased too. They're being elevated too. See, remember, we all are at different levels, right? Chosen or not, we all are at different levels. Some people answered their call long ago and put some intense work in. Others are just answering the call. So we are all at different levels. So even the group of people who I have been speaking to in the last several weeks, meaning is major. Keep in mind, the people who you're passing the torch to is also major increase for them. And because they have been in alignment and they've been doing what they're supposed to be doing, then it's almost like God is going to kind of give them a head start, which is skipping levels for them because they put that work in. So he's not going to allow you to leave it all in disarray. He wants you to have it packaged well. So when you pass that torch, it's going to help out those coming behind you. And then you'll be able to focus on your current assignments, your current level, without the hassle of someone calling you and trying to bring you back and pull you and reel you back in because something was left undone. Also, a requirement that he's requiring is, I don't know who about to get hit. I know it was a conviction for me, but I mean, I don't think I had no intentions on doing it, but I'm just here to be a messenger if it's for you. When you leave, leave well. When you leave, leave well. We are being watched like hawks. Character. It doesn't matter how cruel the people were, how narcissistic they were, how ungrateful they were, and the list goes on. Don't go gossiping about nobody to the new level, and sure don't do it to the individuals who you're passing the torch to. The same way God guided you and taught you, he'll do the same for them. He just wants you to make sure you leave it well. But don't carry that negative energy, regardless of what they've done. You're being elevated. You're being increased. So regardless of what they've done, honey, let them stay where they are. You're being increased. So don't worry about that. Job well done. So leave and leave well. Next, there is a intense desire for a alone time. Did I say that yet? Because I've made this recording several times. Having to start over for different reasons. I don't think I've said that yet. A desire for a alone time. Here's the thing. Before each shift, there are intricate details. There are covenants. And a lot of those times, those covenants are only between you and God. Now, we're not speaking about spiritual covenants as a whole or biblical covenants. We're speaking about personal, now those two, but we're speaking about personal, intimate covenants with you and God. That can look like in the physical realm and spiritual. But all right now, I believe you're ready. Honestly, I really believe you're ready. However, I know how this thing works. When I open this door and you get increase, when I open this door and you are being thrusted from a 10-person ministry to a 1,000-person ministry, when I open this door and you're the first millionaire, when I open this door and you're the first business owner, remember me. And that remember me is so firm that you know that you know that you know. If you forget, you're getting demoted right back to the prior season. Because you didn't keep that covenant. I actually lived this. I know some people get annoyed because I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry. If I'm called on assignment or there's something that God has me to do and you start all that praising, honey, I appreciate that you recognize I'm a vessel. I appreciate you recognizing my obedience and my heart to serve. I'm just a vessel. I'm just like you, honey. I would rather be on a 2-week vacation, but instead God told me to get you up off of the street because you're living on the street. You must see God in this. Because it wouldn't have been my choice. My choice, I would have probably took the vacation, just put you up in a hotel for 2 days. It's obedience. God chose you. Out of all these people in the world, he handpicked you. I didn't pick you. I would pick somebody in my family. I would pick a personal friend. I picked you because I was convicted to do so. So you must see God. So that's why, guys, you see on a lot of the videos or the recordings or whatever I've done that I press that, because that is a personal covenant I made with God a very, very long time ago. So he will give you personal covenants. Bro, he'll give you a covenant. And these are all examples. He'll give you some kind of covenant when you're in that personal time. He'll say something like, listen, When I increase you, that's going to increase your temptation. Why do you think I worked on you in the secret place? Why do you think I had you fasting? Why do you think I broke that addiction to porn? Why do you think it? So I'm telling you now, when I open that door, you're going to have women throwing themselves at you. When you feel yourself getting tempted, when you feel that flesh rising up in the spirit, you got to know how to come back in this secret place. You got to know how to do this. You got to know how to go in the fast. He's training you. So before he opens the door, he gives you a covenant. And he holds you accountable. I promise you, he holds you accountable to those covenants. Play with it. Play with it. This thing is not for the faint of heart, honey. I think that's all I had in regards to that. A desire to be alone. For personal intricate details. Oh, also, now, oh my God, this is so true. Now, this may not be for everybody, and it may have been for you, but you're trying to ignore it. There's a immense desire to give and serve. And you know what it may tie into? Whatever your purpose and your calling is, okay, so the area that he's about to shift you to and increase you at, that's going to somehow be tied into the way he's calling you to sacrifice time, resources of all kinds. The difference is, it may be grand, right? He may not say, hey, go and take $100 and, well, that's grand too, but go and take $10 and go buy 10 burgers off the dollar menu and hand them out to 10 homeless people that you run into today. No, honey. No. It's going to be like, you know that bonus you about to get on the job? Take that entire check. Take that entire bonus check and go feed 100 people. So it's very grand. But if you're tapped in, he's shown you how you are not to even think in any kind of form or fashion that, oh, this is going to take up my family's mouth if I take this whole check. No. He's shown you, if you do it, how he'll make sure you're never broke again. Ever. So it's almost like you're planting seeds into the soil of your increase. You're going ahead of it. Ooh, that's good. Child, I just had a vision. Honey, I just had a vision. Child, my visionaries, tap in. I just had a vision. Okay, you're going to have to catch this in the spiritual realm. Of a person. Well, it was me, but as a person, a human being. And there's a lot of cash in your hands. It could be $1 bills. It's money. It's paper money. And you're taking each dollar bill and you're putting it inside of the ground. But for some reason, this ground is almost like, it's not quicksand, but it's soft like quicksand. So it's almost like, like when you take dollar bills and you put them inside the soda machines or the snack machines and it sucks it in. Okay, so the soil is sucking in the dollar bills as you put them in. But then around that soil, that whole area is nothing but peace, joy, fruits of the spirit. So it's very, very peaceful as you're doing it. And ooh, child, and you're by yourself putting these dollar bills one at a time. You're feeding that soil. You're feeding that soil. So at the root, under all that soil, Not only is the money that you're inserting, it is increase after increase after increase after increase. So once you get to destiny seasons, boom, billionaire, millionaire, thousandaire. No, ain't no thousandaire. See it big. See it big. Listen, y'all, my spirit is so ignited right now. Please bear with your girl. I was talking to one of my destiny partners yesterday. And I was telling her, it's so crazy because we had a vision at the same time. Well, we always had the vision, but we were thinking about it at the same time. Because when she messaged me about it, I was like, I'm sitting here driving, and honey, God just brought it completely back to my spirit about something he showed me long ago. And she was just saying that her vision is to, okay, she's called to widows. And she had this vision. She's like, Kizzy, I just want to do like this 10-person, almost like a condo type thing where you put 10 people. I was like, sis, I hear you. Truly, I do. But as I'm listening to you, honey, God is telling me to tell you, it's bigger than that. See, you're going based on 10 because that's what your pockets can currently afford. That's not how God works. You got to see bigger than your bank account. I don't see 10 people. I see millions. I don't see one building. I see hundreds. I'm sorry. I see throughout thousands, not even 100,000. You got to see it. You got to visualize. You got to see it. Whatever you're called to, you have to see it. Don't worry about your bank account. You got to see it. God ain't giving you a vision for no reason. You got to see it. And you got to believe it. Okay, I stayed there too long, honey. And my spirit is all excited after I saw like that money going in that soil. All right, so let's talk about how God answers prayers. Well, really quickly, before we do that, that's probably going to be more longer. These partnerships, these God-ordained partnerships. See, here's the thing. Here's what can be challenging for people to understand, maybe even the people in your life. Many times the people in your life who you love and you have relationships with of all sorts, friendships, family, etc., they're not your assignment. They're not connected to your destiny, if you will. They have their own destiny. You have yours. So what they're doing it may be the complete opposite of what you're doing. But loyalty, right? That mindset will have you trying to force and fit people who's not even in alignment with your particular thing. These are God ordained. We don't go searching for God ordained things. We're led to, we're convicted to. So this is why many of you guys are realizing you're meeting people from all around the world, supernaturally. And it's just not social media. I mean, of course that plays a part without a doubt, but the relationships are being connected supernaturally. These are your soul tribe. These are your destiny partners. These will be your team. Now, please use wisdom here and take that to the Holy Spirit. He will show you who is who, blase, blase. This one got the vision. This one is a kingdom financier. This one has a heavy prayer mantle. This one is good at, what do you call it? This one is a lawyer. This one is an accountant. But these are all God-ordained connections. And they tie in, and there's not a lot of people. It ties in. It's a solid team that he is currently building. Be sure that you stay tapped in. And a lot of times too, it's going to be people who you randomly met long ago. And nothing never popped off. Meaning you met a random person. I'll say dinner because I meet so much people just sitting at dinner. You met a random person at dinner and you guys are like, both of you know the Lord. For whatever reason, you're just talking about how good God is. That's it. That was only conversation among some other fun things. Years pass and God brings something back to your attention. Remember that lady who you was talking to, at the restaurant, and she's, y'all was talking about how good I am. Thank you. And she said she was a lawyer and right. He'll bring little things like that back together. So it can be past people you've encountered or just randomly people who you are now encountering. It's some kind of way Now, again, wisdom, discernment. We're not talking about people who are trying to force themselves on you and trying to attach themselves to you. We're talking about God ordained connections sent. This is spirit led, not flesh led. These people will feel like you've known them all of your life. We're not speaking flesh chemistry. That's great too. Chemistry is fire. I love immediate chemistry. That has nothing to do with spirit. Spirit is peaceful, quiet, trusting. Can't even describe it. It's a feeling. These relationships are coming together again for next level. Make sure everyone knows their proper place, because it's no room for competition with this. This requires this. Why do you think God is teaching us so much right now about character, even more intensely about character, about conflict resolution? These are things that we're learning in this current college fast forward course. The importance of teamwork, because many of us are used to kind of chosen ones. We're used to kind of working alone, like we're problem solvers because we live in our head. And then many times we were so outcasted that we had to kind of always figure things out on our own. Like we love being, we get overstimulated, right? We love people, but we just ain't got time for you today. So we got to be in our cocoon. But he's teaching you so much. He's preparing you. Because next level is going to be board meetings. Next level is going to be, okay, your input, okay, I got this vision, but can you please pray on this to be sure we're on one accord? I got this vision, but can you please package it where it's more spirit and logic rather than emotions? So if you're rejecting God-ordained partnerships or God-ordained marriages, because the world do what the world do. At some point, they're telling you what you should be doing. Everybody should be married. It doesn't look good. Now I tell everybody don't get married. So if you sign up to reject it, even though it's your season for it, you're going to stunt your growth and you're going to get left behind. Because one thing that I've learned, the higher you go, the more your emotions, which is difficult for the chosen ones because we're so spiritually sensitive, and women, we're more emotional. Your emotions are going to have to be suppressed a lot of the times. And even though when that's difficult, that's why he's going to bring you God-ordained men. So if it's not a partner or a husband, it's going to be some kind of team member. Please stay out the flesh, bro. Where men, I have a couple of men like that in my life where I'm good at thinking logic, but then there's times my emotions are too involved. And then I take it and I present it, and then they can package it where it's logic, spirit from both sides, but less emotions, etc. Okay, lastly, how does God answer prayers? This is something that a lot of people is not going to really want to hear. I used to didn't want to hear it long ago. But because I live it and I know the track record, then it's common sense at this point for me. God answers prayers in seed forms. God answers many prayers in seed form. Now, of course, there are prayers many times where they're answered just like this because of the urgency of the matter at hand, if you will. But many times, our prayers will be answered in seed form. What does that look like, Kizzy? Make it make sense in the physical realm where it can tie in with the spiritual. I'll give a couple of examples. Before I give the examples, a quick breakdown. At the end of the day, he plants a seed in your spirit. He plants some kind of desire, some kind of conviction, some kind of prompting in your spirit, some kind of idea, some kind of witty invention. It's just an idea. It's seed form. over time, many times, a lot of time, it takes a lot of time. You water, you develop in many areas. You work that land. It's going to be a lot of trial and error. Now, personally, I don't believe in failing. That's just my personal thing. I don't believe in failing. I believe in, like, if something just didn't work, you learn something throughout that process. So you take whatever you learn and then you apply it to the next thing. So you're growing from it. You're not failing. So you're going to hit a lot of stuff. A lot of people give up because when they hit the hard times, they feel like, well, that was never God. Honey, you got to work that land, and you got to work it for a long time. So throughout that process, he teaches you how to work that land. And then before you know it, when it is the timing in the season for it, then boom, harvest. So in physical forms tied in with the spiritual, I'll give 2 examples of my own personal, well, not just my life, but in general. But one personal, the first personal thing is, I'm very, 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 very confident in the way God uses me, regardless of if you yeah, okay. Hi, guys. I'm very well aware of my strengths in the areas that are not so strong. One area that I used to not be so, and if I'm, no, listen, transparency, this is the whole thing. I think a lot of people just feel like you can't just be honest about certain things. And listen, God needs us to be honest. He needs us to be honest, right? So some people have that, like, they have a burning desire. Even if they don't want to do it, there's just a grace for them to do it. They can sit there and pray for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And these folks really move and shift some things in that spiritual realm. These are the kind of folks that when you call and ask them to pray for you, like the minute they pray, you can tell because you feel that heaviness lifted off of you, right? So I was like, God, like, I really love the fact that I'm tapping, and I know that I hear that I know that I know that I know when I hear from you, and this, that, and third. And I do pray. But I'm talking about that heavy prayer mantle. And I just never really, I pray, but I have a lot of power in other areas, but I want that. And then he sent me a great friend who has that anointing. Does that just mean I let her pray for me and I don't join in? Does that just mean she does all the work and I don't tap in? Does that mean? Absolutely not. He brings it in seed form. It's now my responsibility to ask questions, to watch, to glean, pray together, this, that, and the third. Be obedient to when you feel the conviction. Like, no, it comes in seed forms. So he doesn't always give you what you want and how you think you should receive it. He gives it in seed form. Okay. And then over time that grows and that grows and that grows. But I'm putting the work in. So before you know it, right, you may not be as anointed as her in that area, because that's her area. She don't have what you have. Like, okay, so let's talk about a second example. Say that you ask God for increase. Like, you are called and you have a desire to be wealthy in many different areas. Like, you just know that you're called to be this person for the kingdom, hopefully. And you ask God for increase. You may assume that God is going to knock on your front door and say, here's a check, increase. Doesn't work like that a lot of the times. So what does he do? He sends you a helper, a destiny helper. He sends you a God ordained person who may have those connections, who can put you on this, that, and the third. But what do people do many of the times? They self-sabotage and they run these people off. They dishonor, they disrespect, and you lose the person who he sent to answer your prayer. But you assume because he sent the person, then the person only comes to give you the money or the thing, whatever it is that you're seeking. You assume the person comes to give you that. So then flesh takes over, and then you start to self-sabotage by trying to scheme, be greedy, come up on. The person leaves you, you miss your entire season. Instead, you're supposed to receive the God-ordained person, water the relationship by honor, by respect, by growing in character, gleaning, reciprocity, spiritual laws, things like that. Grow that relationship, and over time, when that person realizes that they can trust you and that relationship is solid, that person then can put you on, can co-sign your name, etc., etc. Then you become more and more increased. Now you're being even your access to people of higher levels have increased, because now this person can trust to co-sign you. So after time, you now have access to wealth in different forms, because wealth is just not money, in different forms. You prayed for increase. God sent you the person. You dishonor, disrespected, lose the person, you lose the season. The person was seed form. The person was seed form. You didn't work the land. So those are two examples. And I probably can give 30, but I think this recording is probably already 30 minutes long. But many times that's how God answers prayers. It's seed form. Why do you think a lot of the people who you're now starting to see really like you see them all over the world, they're all on everybody's social media, they're like this is that they're a lot of the times they're more mature folks. And then you have this idea like this, where did this person just pop up from? Why am I just seeing this person? And then you're thinking like, this person must have just started. And then when you research their lives, no, they've been doing this for a very, very long time. And you start to see videos from when they first started, and it's almost like, wow, this had to have been seed form. There is no increase until it is the season for increase. In the meantime, we have to work the land of the seed. It's seed form. Like now I'm thinking, listen, I asked God a very long time ago, and it was definitely in alignment with my purpose, because it's something I've always loved to do, which is help people. But I can remember just being able to afford just to drive around and go get some fast food and just drop off fast food to like whatever homeless people I saw on the street. Literally. I have videos of this stuff. This is a long time ago. But I've always worked the land. Years and 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 years of things that people don't even know about. Doing surface level things. I don't mean surface level because it's still, you get the point here. Where now, after all this time of working the land, a lot of trials and errors, hurts, pain, betrayal. Well, I won't really say betrayals. Betrayals, but nothing major. I'll say that because I'm too good with guarding my heart when I don't, And now, I can pay for people's homes. Not like that now. Let me be clear really quickly. Also, please understand that in certain countries, you can put somebody up in a house for a year. That is the price of your light bill. Please understand that. But now I can do, even if it's here, Mr. Steve, perfect example. But why? Because I work the land. I was given the seed, went through hell and back, went through training. Then when the season arrived, you see the fruit. See, that's the thing. People want to focus on people's fruit. But honey, sit down and have a conversation with some people about their process, honey. Child. Oh, honey. I'm gonna end this recording on that note because I'm having some flashbacks, honey. But guys, I wanted to share this. I think that's all I wanted to say. If I forgot any of the topics, I will pin it in the comment section. You guys have a great day. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.